Whew. I have so much to tell you. 22 years ago, I was born here in Tasmania. My mum and my dad both grew up in New Zealand. They lived there and then they made the move across the ditch to Australia in their late 20s. I was born here, all my siblings were born here. I was raised here in Australia. But I've always felt a very, very deep connection to my New Zealand heritage. In fact, I'd often claim to be more Kiwi than Aussie. That's the beginning. I'm setting the scene for you all. I decided to move to New Zealand and stay at our family batch, which is Kiwi slang for a shack, a holiday home, for the entire summer. It was by far the best summer of my life. I loved it. I loved spending more time with my Kiwi family and exploring the beautiful Coromandel. Honestly, I have nothing bad to say. And then a thing came along, the thing that shall not be named, that turned this world upside down in 2020. And I ended up getting stuck in New Zealand. Initially, the plan was to move back to Europe to be a tour guide. So I thought, all right, let's roll with it. I'm gonna stay in New Zealand for a little bit longer, which I did. I came back unexpectedly to Australia for a friend's wedding. Once I came back, I thought, okay, I am going to study. It is finally time to become an adult, to work towards a proper career. I applied to the Australian National University and I got in. It was always the plan to go back to university. Here we are. And it's all changed again. This is probably the 4th life update on my channel for this year because everything just keeps turning upside down. And you know what? Everything has gone wrong for a reason. All the plans that have changed for a purpose by God to set me up for my next move. I was going to study a Bachelor of Commerce, but then the Australian government thought we're going to raise up the prices. So my degree that I was going to study went from $30,000 to $70,000. It just was shocking to me that a government could do that and turn a university into a job factory. I started to consider other options. Coincidentally, 10 days earlier, I had applied for my New Zealand citizenship and passport, which I get through mum and dad. Thank you, Gary and Glenda. And now I am sitting here with this glorious looking New Zealand passport. I feel very lucky and blessed to have this right now, and also to have one of these because I know how many people in the world would love to be in this situation. I'm not taking any of this for granted. I know that it is total privilege to be sitting here and waving around 2 passports to very wealthy, privileged nations. I get it. That's nuts. It even blows my mind. And it blew my mind that my passport and citizenship arrived in the mail 10 days after I had applied for it. Usually these things take months. In that same point, when I got that passport is when I heard about the fee change. And the timing of it all, I mean, I believe in God. I don't know if you believe in God, but maybe this will give you a reason to. The minute I was thinking maybe I shouldn't stay in Australia and go to New Zealand was the minute that my passport arrived on my doorstep. This gives me the ability to be a domestic student in New Zealand and apply for a loan and be able to afford to study. Also, my degree, which would now be $70,000 in Australia, went down to $21,000 in New Zealand. I basically spent a week just thinking and praying about it. I talked to my mum. I didn't really speak to anyone else in my life. You know, you don't want to give away news too soon if it's not set in stone. Another thing I needed to do to make sure that it would be set in stone is apply for uni. Like, can I actually get in New Zealand? I put in an application for unis across New Zealand and I got in. I thought, okay, well, this is really rolling. I need to make a decision. That's when I really pressed into God. I literally just went for a drive to the beach alone one day and spent hours just praying and thinking about it. I couldn't shake the feeling that all of this had happened at the same time for a reason, for a specific purpose. And in my heart, I knew that New Zealand is where I wanted to be. I was already missing New Zealand so much by this point. So that was another compelling argument to say yes. And another good compelling argument was honestly just financial reasons. You know, like this is going to set me up so much better for my future. So with all these things kind of lining up, I made the decision to just go for it, to just take the plunge and to book flights. Okay, I'm about to book my flight to New Zealand and I'm really nervous. I know it's the right thing to do, but it's a big move. I'm procrastinating this so hard, I just need to book it. Sydney to Auckland. One extra bag, one way. Okay, ready? It's processing. Ah! It's booked! Benji, I'm moving to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Woo! Okay, that wasn't too bad. I'm being overly dramatic. Not to mention, there is a pandemic going on. So moving to another country right now, you know, it's already hard in normal times, but right now it is especially difficult because I am going to have to isolate again on the other end, and New Zealand requires you to pre-book your isolation when you book your flights. All of it was lining up. I told my family and my friends in New Zealand, and my grandma's first comment to me was, "Oh good, you'll be able to find someone now and settle down." Yeah, we'll see how that goes. The next step in this journey was to secure a place to live. I have no rental history, I haven't lived in a flat. Although I've stayed in hostels all over the world and boarded with family, it doesn't count. So there was another roadblock. I'll let you know, once again, God was doing his thing because I signed up to the Christian accommodation flatmate website in New Zealand, and I had several people message me asking me to fill their rooms. One in particular ticked all the boxes. I video called with the girls, they were lovely. My application was accepted, and ta-da, I've got a flat. I actually got accepted for the house this morning, hence, you know, all this excitement. I am petrified to leave Tasmania purely because everyone here is so incredible. This island is the most special place in the world. There is nowhere else like Tasmania. I feel so blessed to have grown up here. I'm trying to ignore the fact that I'm going to be saying goodbye to it permanently in a few weeks' time. Oh gosh, it's actually kind of like making me feel emotional because it is a really big move for me. I've traveled around the world and done so many things over the past 4 years, but this move really is me becoming independent. You know, for the last 4 years, I've kind of been playing pretend by going away and then bouncing back home to Tassie and going away and bouncing back. But this is it, you know, this is the next season of life. And I'm just grateful that I feel at home there as well. You know, I'm connected to the place. I have family and friends there. I love it. So it's not like I'm moving to a completely foreign land, but it doesn't make leaving Tasmania any easier at all. Oof, yeah. Over the next few weeks, the aim is to pack up my childhood bedroom, put everything into suitcases, say goodbye, spend Christmas in Sydney, and then head to New Zealand. It's definitely a full circle moment for mum and dad because they did the same thing but in the opposite direction. They came to Australia when they were young, and now I am going back. Life always has a way of coming full circle. For those who are interested in the details, I will be moving to Wellington, which is at the bottom of the North Island. It's a bit of a hipster city, real arty, lots of good coffee, and I will be studying there at the Victoria University. All my friends and family who I've told in New Zealand have said, oh, that city will suit you so well. So I think that's a good sign. Yeah, there we go. There's that massive, big life update. Honestly, I don't know if there'll be a bigger one until the day comes that I get married or I have a baby. Thank you. If you're watching this, I really appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who has followed my journey. This channel has gone from sharing my travel and backpacking adventures to sharing my faith in God and how that's grown and the challenges and the joys that come along with it. And now it's going to be a combination of both as I live in New Zealand and show you the beautiful sights whilst also incorporating God into our everyday lives and living through Him and living for Him, all of that good stuff. So I want to know, what videos would you like to see me film with this transition to New Zealand? Do you want to see the process of me moving or me spending 2 weeks in quarantine again? Or do you want to see videos about my time at university or setting up in a new city, or more faith-based videos, talking videos like I've done on the channel at the moment? Please let me know. I want to make videos that you want to watch. I want you to be encouraged and empowered. Let me know in the comments. Please hit me up with your ideas. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my life updates. I mean, judging by my track record, there's plenty more of those to come. And it should be interesting moving to another country in a pandemic and leaving the one that I love so much. Have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you next time here on my channel.